Okay, our next speaker is actually here with us, and it's Jake Porter, who we're extremely excited to host. He's going to be speaking to us on, campaign managing candidates. He did manage Jacob Hornberger's campaign. I don't feel like much more needs to be said about that, but yeah.
Well, thanks so much. Thanks so much for having me. I've got to say, this is a great attended convention. It really is. It's great to be here. It's great to see all the faces, the people that are committed to the cause of liberty. That excites me. I'm also happy to see all the debate and discussion for these internal offices. In Iowa, we haven't had that. I wish we'd see more of that. It's this great discussion to have. Back in the 70s in California, Libertarian Party is forming, and the local police are wanting to know kind of what is this thing. So the chief, he sends a deputy out. He says, infiltrate it, find out what's going on. So he goes there, comes back. The chief asked me, he said, well, you're successful. Did you get them infiltrated? He said, hell, I don't know. They elected me chair. So I'm happy that we're coming, kind of away from that. I've been in the party since 2004, and I can remember when people didn't know what a libertarian was. They thought we were the vegetarians, the librarians. I had a friend that was over the Iowa State House, and he's there, and he's walking around. Somebody says, well, who are you with? He says, well, I guess I'm with the libertarians. And they said, well, there's a lot of you here today. I said, really? Is Tim here? And it turns out there was a librarian convention going on. So I've watched this now to where people know more about what we are, that people are attending. The first convention I went to had like 12 people in it. And now we're seeing conventions where 50, 60, 100, and this being an off-year convention, you guys need to give yourself a round of applause. You're doing a great job. And I see the growth in membership. I think you're about to catch Iowa for the National Party membership, so I did see that, so wasn't happy to see that, but I wanted to speak today a little bit. I thought, I could speak about campaigning, how to campaign, but I wanted to get a little bit more fundamental, things that I think that we often forget. And businesses often forget it too. And that is about vision. Oftentimes we focus more on tactics. We don't really look at why we are doing things. We don't look at the fundamentals. And so when we do any candidate training, affiliate training, we don't look at the fundamentals of it, and we just go straight to tactics, and then it fails. And I'll explain a little bit more why it fails. Back in the early 90s, a Stanford professor, Jim Collins, had his students look at why good businesses were good, why great businesses were good, good businesses didn't get to that level, or bad businesses didn't get to that level. What they found, there was an underlying theme. The great businesses all had a vision. They had a big, hairy, audacious goal, as he called it, a BHAG. That was something they were working towards. The fact is, we don't, in the Libertarian Party, I think, have one. That's why we see a lot of the infighting. We don't have something that we're working towards, that we're working together on. And when we don't do that, we let these short-term tactics, these social media posts, everything becomes about tactics, social media, advertising. Going door to door. You can go door to door with a poor message. I can tell you it's not going to work. I've seen a lot of candidates do that. When we have a lack of vision, a lack of goals, we're not able to get people behind something. We're not able to really inspire people. I think you're doing something right because people were inspired enough to come. So that's great. But every candidate, every affiliate, every county affiliate, needs to focus on what things can they do to inspire people. What vision can they have? And I've been around in the Libertarian Party long enough to see this, when we don't have this vision, when we don't have the goals, we get into this magic bullet thinking, if we just nominate a celebrity candidate for president, if we just get on Joe Rogan, if we just do all this stuff, if we just do this one little thing, we're going to magically get 15%. And you'll hear the bold predictions. We're going to get 15% for president this year. We're going to get in the presidential debates. It never happens. It never happens because we're not doing the groundwork. We're putting all of our faith in this magic thinking. It's the equivalent of buying a lottery ticket, right? You go out and buy the lottery ticket. I'm going to get out of debt with this lottery ticket. Chances are you're not going to do it. We're not willing to put in often the hard work that it takes to do that. So when we talk about who needs to set vision, well, everyone does. Local affiliates do. Candidates need to set vision. State parties. The national party needs to set a vision. And what is that vision? I don't have time to go into the full detail of how to set strategy and how to actually pick the tactics out. But the first thing we do, and I actually do this with all my business candidates, because I found out that the business candidates or business clients that I had that were failing because they didn't have vision. They were just doing tactical things. Oh, we'll just post stuff on Facebook. We'll just run TV ads. We'll just run radio ads. And they were getting themselves in many jams. I had one client that cost herself nearly $500,000 because there wasn't that vision. Why does that company exist? These are questions that I think as a party we know why we exist. I think we've got that. We got the strong foundation there. I also ask my business clients to determine what are their core values? What are the things you would never compromise on? Because if winning is our only objective, you all might as well walk out of this room, go register as a Democrat or Republican, because this isn't the best way to do it. Winning is not the objective. It's not to say we shouldn't win. I absolutely think running for office, winning those offices is good, so long as we're not compromising our principles. Because if we're just going to run to win, run as a Democrat or Republican, get power, that's not our goal. That is the means to the end, running campaigns. And whenever we set these goals, we can set goals that we're going to win elections. That's a great goal. That's a big, hairy, audacious goal. There should also be some other big, hairy, audacious goals that we set, though. Now, one of them might be to enact public policy change because of your race for office. That's a big, hairy, audacious goal. A state affiliate might have a big, hairy, audacious goal of how many members you're going to get, how many registered voters you're going to get. I don't think you register voter by party here in the state, but how many people you get to a state convention, that's a great goal. So there's many things that all of us can do that's not just about winning the elections. Winning's important, but it itself is not the goal. And we need to remember that because we can get so caught up on compromising everything that we're doing trying to win. And if we do that, we become the Democrats or Republicans. That's exactly what they've done. And that's something that I would rather not see happen to the Libertarian Party. And as we grow, the temptation is going to be there to do that. The temptation is also there that we're going to infight, that we're going to fight over these tactics, the social media posts. But I'm asking everyone to look at things a bit deeper. What as an organization, what as candidates, what do we need to do to take our message to the American people? How can we inspire people to join us to get that liberty in our lifetime? And I think we'll find out that the enemy's not in this room. The enemy's not the various caucuses. We agree on 95% of stuff. We need to align. We need to work together. We need to be inspirational. And we need to find ways to have a good strategy that defines what we're going to do with our marketing. Who do we need to reach? These are the questions. What are the buyer benefits that we need to send to the voters? How do we get people to join? So that is the message I want to leave you with. Is how can we set that vision, something to think about? What big goals do each one of you individually have? What big goals do each one of your county affiliates? What big goal does your state affiliate have? Set those goals, define them. There's a lot more work you can do. There's a book that I recommend. It's part of the Good to Great series that Professor Jim Collins wrote, but it's actually a short 40-page book. It's called Good to Great in the Social Sectors, very short. Business thinking is not quite what we're looking for here. You know, if you can't just fire your volunteers, I think you know that. Even though sometimes you might want to, you can't really do that. You've got to inspire people, and you've done a great job of that. But that's something that every county party needs to do, every candidate needs to do, is to find ways to inspire people, because we can't fire them. We've got to bring people to our cause to take this message to the American people. So thank you very much.
That was a good point about happy little family. Thank you very much. We appreciate you addressing us today. I love the story about the drafted to become chair at the first meeting. This sounds familiar.